All right, good afternoon, everyone. Hello, my name is Leslie Watson, and I am the Chief Compliance and Client Experience Officer for Marquis Software Solutions. I would like to also introduce you today to my fellow teammates for the sprint and every day. Today we have Doug Beard with us, our Chief Technology Officer, Christopher Rice, our Senior Vice President of Software Development Manager, and Tim Klein, our Product Management Executive. So Marquis' goal with this sprint was to provide a solution to help deliver a customized LAR submission experience for each individual financial institution. What you'll see today that we will lay out for you is an institution's ability to compare its current year's data to historical data, as well as highlight any potential data integrity issues based on existing edits and/or edits the institution could build themselves for applicable to their business model. While we will provide you examples today of such red flags within data integrity, as well as potential business model edits, overall, we believe our suggestions would aid in the accuracy of data being submitted by each individual institution, along with allowing for clear and conspicuous public data. While we trust our solution will benefit all filers, we believe that small filers, community groups, as well as fintech companies will benefit more typically as they have limited personnel resources and/or technical resources. So with that, I'm going to let Tim begin describing to you what we would believe would be a MyHMDA CFPB portal. Thank you.
And hello, everybody. Glad to be here. We've had a great time this week. I want to point out right away the capitalization in MyHMDA is different than our team before us, so just fair warning there. So what we've done here is to try and envision a place where small filers can go, harness what the CFPB has already created with the APIs they have out there, and create a place where they can develop their LAR throughout the year. One of the biggest pain points and panics for those of you that have been at banks is submitting your data and then all of a sudden knowing at the last minute you have edits, and that's a panic that nobody wants. So what we've done is targeted the small lenders, but as Leslie said, this can be a portal for anybody to use, large, small, fintech, community groups. So what we've built out is a complete application framework, but we focused on two areas specifically for innovation this week, geocoding as well as custom My Edits. So you land on a login screen when you launch the application. You're immediately taken to current events. What's new with the CFPB? What's going on right now? Further, we're going to give you access to those documents that are important to you as a HMDA filer, the FAQs, the current FIG, small entity compliance guide, and things like that, so that all the documentation that's out there and may not be easily accessible is found right here. Now, the menuing system of MyHMDA is supposed to be simple and easy, right? What are the things that a small filer has to do? They got to get the data in, they got to geocode it, run their edits, and submit. So, with that, a simple menu system takes us to the LAR itself. And once you select that, you'll see that you have access to your current LAR as you are going to be able to develop it throughout the year, and then historic LAR data as well. Some simple metrics there. How many entries are there? How many edits in each category? Clicking on either one of these will take you to where you're going to really do your work. The summary page basically gives you some metrics. How many entries? Also some important metrics that might give you data integrity clues. Applicant rates not available. How many applications also have ethnicity not available? And these can certainly be expanded because you really would want to make sure that the not available categories are kind of in sync across those categories. Leslie, tell us about those bottom three.
Yeah, so in the bottom three, we just gave you a dashboard look to really evaluate your HMDA LAR here. So in these elements that we pulled up for today's presentation is denials that you may want to dig into a little bit more from a fair lending standpoint. So we saw this as you can see, being able to pull elements on and look at it from your HMDA data integrity and start understanding your story that your HMDA data is telling as you're working it along the way for your next steps and your daily responsibilities.
Awesome. So next, the important thing is geocode, and with the 2020 census around the corner, geocode is going to be much more important. Everybody's going to be struggling and panicking to get that latest census data. So a geocode module is important, and more importantly, when you land here, let's give you some idea of where you stand on your current data, as well as historic. How many records do I have that are not geocoded yet? Those that are geocoded, inside, outside of MSA is important to a lot of lenders. Those that aren't geocoded, we can click down there to expose the address information of those so that you can do manual research. You know, right now the FFIC is the kind of the gold standard. It would be important in our mind for maybe to expose a real API to that geocoder if that's still going to be housed there so that we can access it easily. Here's an example of a place where you could go in and do manual geocode lookup. Simply type in an address, city, state, zip, click the geocode button, and you can do some manual exploration on your own there as well. Finally, the edits. That's where we live and breathe, right? You want to make sure that the data is right. Is it going to pass submission? So in this situation, you can see some metrics on where you stand on your validity edits, quality edits, and tactical edits. Hopefully, for your historic data, you got zeros in those first two blocks there, right? But as far as quality edits, you know, are you tracking where you have in past years as far as the number of quality edits you have? Further down below, you'll be able to see each edit category, and clicking on there, you'll be able to see each ULI or NULI for those applications, so you can do manual research on those. Down at the bottom, you'll notice a little moniker called My Edits, and that's where we're going to head next. This is what we found, you know, in a tech sprint. If you're doing it right, you get those things that come to you out of the blue, and this was actually one of the things that we didn't intend when we started, but it sure hit us in the head. This is a way for institutions to basically write their own data integrity checks. Everybody almost, without exception today, has talked about the 10 million% interest rate. There's not an edit check for that. But there's also not edit checks out there to say, okay, if my institution doesn't do reverse mortgages, can I write something to flag it if I do have reverse mortgages? That's the intent here. Not only can you set thresholds for each data point to say what is expected at my institution, you can also go to fields like reverse mortgage, action code, and tell us, or tell the application, you know, what is expected. If I want to say I don't purchase loans and I don't have a pre-approval program, you could set up a custom edit that would actually flag records that have those action codes. In this example, Doug's messing around with credit score, so you can set credit score thresholds, see what's outside the norm.
Just giving you a heads up, we're at 8 minutes.
Thank you. So adding these, removing these, as simple as and easy. Furthermore, there's a detail section on each one of these cards, which will allow you to pull up and identify and just browse those records that did fall outside those thresholds. So again, this is something that we really got excited about and really focused our energy on this week, because this puts the power and the tools of being able to identify what I think is outside a normal range. Not necessarily, you know, machine learning has its place, but this puts it in the hands of the lender to decide what is normal, what's not normal. With that, you know, there's obviously other places we could go. Reporting is obviously going to be important. There's going to be a whole other track dealing with that, and I'm sure they have some great options over there. But to round it out, you know, certainly being able to have an activity log, add and remove users, which is already part of the HMDA portal right now. Like I said, this is really built around something that the CFPB can harness what they have already, enhance it, and really give the small lender a personalized experience in creating their LAR, building it throughout the year, so at that last minute on February 25th, you're not dropping a file on there and going, oh my God, I have edits I didn't know about. That's really what we're getting to. Remove those pain points and make their experience better. With that, I think we can open it up for questions.
Yes, and we just want to let everyone know real quick from the CFPB to the other teams out there, it was great collaborating with everyone. It was a pleasure and a very positive experience. So we're available for questions.